Delving more into culture,
Mhm.
generational
Mm.
changes, what can you say about the Facebook, TikTok generation we live in? It's very fast paced now, but
Mm.
there are also a lot of downsides because,
Mm.
like, anyone can post anything. So,
Yeah.
and people are so easily triggered now, or they have
Mm.
really short attention spans. So,
Mm.
how can we address such dangers in where
Yeah.
the world is going? Mm.
Well, I have to tell you that there were false Facebook uh, accounts of mine. No, it was somebody else posing to be me. So those things are annoying, but we're able to address them. No, uh, what I like to think about all those that you mentioned is I see the good in them. Uh, Facebook, for example, is a great source of feedback. Not the feedback that makes you good, feel good. It's the feedback that makes you feel terrible, but you can only be terrible for a short period of time because those feedback are exactly the kind of feedback we can use to improve our service. Um, Not everybody is uh, civil or charitable when they deliver their messages. They can be quite brutal, but just the same. No, if we see bad things written about our products, to me, it's a perfect opportunity to fix it. And by and large, I think many of those things that we see on social media, once we fix, then you know people move on. People move on. I I'd like to think of it along those lines, and I get feedback. People send me letters on LinkedIn, Facebook. They can even guess my email address. Whenever I get those, I get maybe two or three a week. I immediately address them. It's an opportunity for me to check the tires, to check the engine without having to get out to my office. And whenever I see it, I take them very seriously. So to me, in short, it's a perfect opportunity to see feedback. We also get wonderful feedback. So, for example, about our credit cards, there are customers who defend us. Whenever somebody complains or whenever somebody asks a question, we have customer advocates who act like RCBC employees and who make suggestions and so on. So it's interesting. It's we just have to make sure we're present so that we can act. Another way of looking at social media is it's a great opportunity for us to put our story or share our story because we have, I think, a lot of good stories to tell, and it gives us the venue to reach a very wide audience in a very efficient way without paying for it. Um, that's the other good thing about that. So it's really ability to reach customers and ability to see detailed feedback that's actionable.
But would you say values somehow have shifted
Mm.
with the generation now?
Mike, the first time I heard that, I tried to
Well, it's
recall
a
the time
double-edged
when
sword.
in the 80s when the old people would say the same thing about us. So every decade or every few years, the old guys would say, "Oh, these young people, they're different, etc." So I'm used to the facts. Whenever somebody complains, I say, "Wait a minute, guys. When we were young, the older ones would complain about us. Um, they grew differently. Um, the way I see it, it's a perfect opportunity. To me, it's an opportunity. We have a different set of customers. They want their products delivered to them differently. So the first bank or the first companies that make the adjustment get the loyalty of these customers. So I'm not sure, honestly, if we got it right, but we've been making adjustments for exactly this younger generation, because the old tricks in the book will not work for them. So we have to make those adjustments. Now, the other thing though that I'm happy about is the new generation is much more sensitive to environmental issues. Uh, and that is a huge advocacy for us. So, focus on renewable energy, saying that we have stopped support for coal power plants. Um, I think those are principles that go very well when you reach the current young generations, the current audience. So I wouldn't consider it a problem. I consider it more an opportunity to personalize and refocus our approach, because I was young once, and I think the old ones when I was young had similar thoughts about my generation.
There's always something to say.
Yeah, there's always something. There's always something different.